I'm not being funny, but for the first time in a long, ridiculously long time, you're about to start not only seeing the difference in your life, seeing the difference around you, but at the same time, you're going to be able to feel this on an absolutely mind-blowing spiritual level. That in itself, it's going to start the process of your own unlockment. When I say the process of your own unlockment, you see, it's pretty much so to do with things that you have been going through and with things that you have been worrying about, with things that cause so much negativity in your life over the last 36 to 48 months. So this in itself, it's going to be absolutely huge when it comes to you in particular, my gorgeous Scorpioni, and you will know and you will see exactly what I mean. It's about the energies that have been accumulated within our lives, and these energies can be very dangerous in so many different ways because it just steals our own essence, is tempering with our own spirit, and that in itself can cause us to kind of get stuck in the moment we don't want to be stuck in, and we can only kind of like really release ourselves through our own free spirit. So what is going to happen in between the 13th of April and the 27th of April 2022, it's going to be absolutely huge, because at the same time you are going to become aware of a quite important success in your life. So first of all, you're going to get a quite significant message that things are really finally moving on, but this is to do with your personal situations, and it's to do with things that have been stuck, you know, with things that you wanted to accomplish, with things that you wanted to do, with things that you tried to achieve. But also at the same time, you know, it's just gonna be the another realization that you are going to have about lots of other things, but that it's nothing to do with your life in particular. It's to do with a lot of the things that have been going on the outside of your life, but it has been affecting you so much. So it's about this other information. So the first information is going to be which you are going to become aware of, the swift change of the certain progress and process when it comes to your life and when it comes to something rather specific. But on another hand, another message which is going to come to you, which you're going to become aware of, it's nothing to do with your life in particular, but it's to do with lots of other things that have clouded your life in a big way. So this in itself is going to be an absolutely mind-blowing combination, because by the time you get to the 29th and the 30th of April, there is going to be an absolutely superb opportunity that you are going to have. Otherwise, you wouldn't be able to do this. Otherwise, you wouldn't be able to find yourself on this particular path. So you will see how important this is going to be. Not only you moving on with your life when it comes to something specific that you have been working on, but at the same time, oh my lord, lots of other things are going to start becoming rather brightly at this moment in time. I'm not saying everything is going to completely change, no baby, no, but I'm just telling you, like, this very important aspect. It's huge, because it's going to be one thing, then another thing is going to follow, then another thing is going to follow. But when I said that on the 29th and the 30th of April you're going to have an important opportunity, you see, if these changes didn't take place in your personal life and in your life around you, you see, you wouldn't be able to recognize this message recognize this opportunity on the 29th and the 30th of April, because you wouldn't open yourself up. And by this moment in time, you're going to open yourself up, because you're going to stop thinking in a negative way. I'm not saying you caused this, no, don't get me wrong, you did not cause this. This is natural, this is normal, but most importantly, this is going to be like a kind of like a sacred progression that you are going to have. A lot is going to become obvious, a lot is going to become evident, and most certainly a new portal for you, my gorgeous Scorpioni, is about to open. My name is Sasha Bonasin, and I'm a psychic medium, and this is your monthly horoscope tarot card reading, and it's for you, my gorgeous Scorpio, and it's for April 2022. So this monthly horoscope tarot card focus is for you, my gorgeous Scorpioni, and it's for April 2022. You know, it's a good month, month in many different ways. And I will tell you something, even before the actual April start, even before the 1st and 2nd of April, for example, you know, prior that moment in time, you know, the last week of March is going to be like a big mama in so many different ways, because it's already going to start the process of unfoldment. So by the time you get to the actual 1st and 2nd of April, you know, the energy is going to seem different. The energy is going to feel really clear. The energy is going to feel really light. The energy is going to feel really bright. And suddenly you're going to find yourself like a kind of planning naturally. You're going to find yourself like being optimistic. And this is the big moment that I'm talking about. Many of you have been waiting for this for a long time. So now you will see the power of the actual energy, but also the power of our own persistence in life. When it comes to those things that are important to us, you know, sometimes you need to kind of like really understand that the best things in life, they take time. But this life in itself, you know, it's not meant to be easy. Us being in this world, us being on this earth, we have got a very special and very sacred journey to fulfill. Only we can fulfill our own journey. No one can do this for us, but it does come with lots of challenges. You have been through so many challenges, and they became heavy and heavier. They become even more heavier. So that's why, you know, you're just gonna really, for the first time in a long time, you will be able to feel this energy. And I really like it. And especially the first week of April, the first 7 days of April, please, you need to understand this. There are gonna be so many kind of like things on your mind suddenly, and so many kind of like unfinished business. Suddenly you're gonna feel like very inspired to do this, very inspired to do that. But just like a week ago, you were like, oh no, baby, no, dark, sadness, downer, no, baby, no. So now it's just all going to be like, oh my God, where is this coming from? Well, this is what I'm talking about. And the more you kind of stay in that particular essence, the more you're going to get, and the more you're going to gain out of life in such a way where you're going to allow yourself to be really powerful by allowing yourself to progress in life. So just the first 7 days of April, it's going to be like really significant when it comes to like these bursts of inspiration that you are going to have. It's pretty much so very connected to your own inner calling. You know, it's connected to what you want to do. It's connected to what you want to reflect on. And it's also going to be connected, you know, to which next steps do you need to kind of like really think about. Because it's going to be also like pretty much so very closely related to like a planning. The plannings that are going to come to you throughout this month are going to be pretty much so the plannings that are going to kind of really reflect in a long way for a long time. And even if it's like you come across things, oh yeah, this is going to last just this amount of time, this is going to last just this amount of time, you know, just keep going, because there are going to be certain surprises that you are going to have by the end of May 2022. And these surprises that you are going to have basically by the end of May, I know this is April, but by the end of May 2022, there are certain surprises that you're going to have, and they're going to be sweet, they're going to be nice, and they're going to be delicious. And you will see the new direction is going to manifest, but at the same time it's going to manifest out of the past that you thought that it's not going to be possible. You see, this is when life becomes very interesting, and this is when you start believing in the actual life's magic, because the life is magical only if we allow this magic to go over, to take over. And this is exactly what is going to happen when it comes to numerology, my gorgeous Scorpionis. This is like really important. You know, your number is 112. This is a very powerful number when it comes to numerology, and I will tell you one. I will tell you why. I will tell you one. My God, I will tell you why. Because number one, it's showing pretty much so very strongly that on one hand you're going to start something really big, something really important, but on another hand is also showing you, and it's telling you that you will have a power, very strong power when it comes to manifestation. So do not waste your very kind of sacred time that you are going to have throughout the month of April. You know, make the most of it. It's not only about starting this process, finding yourself on a new beginning, on a new start, but it's also the time, as important for me to mention, that this is like kind of like also kind of gonna work both ways when you want to do do something, when you set your mind on something, you're going to sail through like a big mama, you know, like there is no tomorrow. So you kind of like make the most of it. So it's the power of manifestation. Also, when you want to project things towards something, start something, begin something, express yourself, explain yourself, you know, and things like that. But also at the same time, it's just basically going to start signifying very, very beginning of a very important progress here. And this is like a pretty much so 112, you know, the number is just that this is what number one is. And then number one again means that pretty much so this is going to cause an important spiritual awakening, which is going to be highlighted at around, the mid-April 2022, but also at the same time it's just all about the actual change. Number two, it's showing change. Number two is telling you about the balance coming into your life, you know. On one hand, it's showing you, you know, that you are going to transition, you will be going to transition, but at the same time that transition is just suddenly going to kind of make you feel like you absolutely had enough of a certain aspect in your life. You're going to be, I absolutely had enough. You will know, my gorgeous Scorpione, why your energy was so drained, and you will just want to kind of remove yourself from that way of thinking and establishing beforehand why and when this happened. But on another hand, you will know, because it is just pretty much so about you abandoning like a very boring part of your life. But that part of your life, it's also going to kind of highlight the process of change. And as soon as you become aware of like a change, oh my god, change, this is what I need to do in order to have this change, and that it's going to like really open your eyes, and it most certainly going to point towards the certain sacrifice that you need to make. And that sacrifice is going to come in the form of the actual readjustment. It's going to lead towards your own rebirth. So this is why this is going to be so big. What I really like, my gorgeous Scorpione, you know, number 112 when it comes to the numerology, this is a big mama. What I'm going to say right now, this is a huge mama. This is enormous mama, what I'm going to say right now, because what is going to happen this month, that is probably one of the most powerful things, not only the fact that you will be able to feel this energy change and what you're going to hear, what you're going to become aware of, but also, you know, you are this month going to feel a very strong enthusiasm, and this is going to happen in between the 11th of April and the 30th of April. In between the 11th of April and the 30th of April, you are going to feel a very strong like enthusiasm. It's like, oh my god, you're not going to be able to recognize yourself with all this enthusiasm. No, I'm joking. No, you're going to feel a very strong enthusiasm, but I'm just saying that balance you haven't felt for a long time. So this is why this is going to be so important, and it's going to happen in between the 11th and the 30th of April. And that enthusiasm is like pretty much so going to put you on the path without you even realizing. You have to understand to follow your intuition absolutely no matter what, because you're going to find yourself wanting to, through your own enthusiasm, you will see something, you will be reconnected and connected with yourself, but most importantly, you are going to see something, okay? And what you're gonna see is going to like really kind of ooh la la, going to become a rather delicious part of your life. But at the same time, it's going to require from you, you're gonna feel so drawn, like oh my god, you're gonna feel so drawn to explore the certain part of your life. And this is when things are gonna start becoming very interesting to you indeed, because as soon as you start exploring the certain part of your life, and that exploration is gonna kind of like a pretty much so going to involve you having a huge massive step towards the unknown. And as soon as you do that, you're going to become aware of something really, really huge, something really massive, and that in itself is going to be absolutely obvious by the 29th and the 30th of April. Just remember that this is to do with an opportunity, and that opportunity you're not going to even realize to start with how big this is going to be. There are going to be so many other elements that you're going to become aware of by the end of this month. And it's just remember, it's to do with things that you love doing, it's to do with things while we are placed on this earth, you know, and things like that. So you will have you will basically start a journey towards your own devotion in life, you know, and this will be big as you are about to discover and rediscover your true passion. This is really important. So listen, you're about to discover and rediscover your true passion. Why am I saying discover and rediscover? This is going to be quite evident, you know, on the 29th and the 30th of April 2022, and this in itself, it's going to make you realize, you know, that there is this continuance of a certain effort is going to come forward, that you're going to feel a little bit of disappointed about a certain kind of plans that you had, and you will want to abandon these previous plans, but that doesn't absolutely matter. So because it's going to be, it karmically, this will come to an end, and it's required from you to realize and establish which part of your life that is. And this is brilliant. Almost immediately it's going to shift that negativity and negative energy, because you allowed yourself to move on your own path, and that almost immediately within the next couple of days, it's like a big idea that you will have, and you will know what this idea is, because suddenly you're going to feel this activity and determination, and it's to do with your own experience, but also it's to do with you kind of being analytical at the same time and just following through these ideas that you are going to have. This is going to pretty much so reawaken your desire, your determination, and it's all about a strong willpower that you are going to have. There is something very unique that you're going to feel about this situation. This is going to mean to you so much, because it is also at the same time, it's not only about feeling this strong willpower about the specific path in your life, but at the same time it's about making an intelligent choice, okay, very intelligent choice. And this is to do with your desire, which is going to highlight your own will and resolution as well. It's bringing you an important resolution, you know, it's brilliant. And an important resolution that I'm talking about, it's pretty much so caused so much sadness and so much negativity, and it's connected to maybe like a restraint caused by others in your life, which just kind of lead towards you kind of losing your faith a little bit. So now this is going to bring you a rather nice little surprise, because you will become aware of the achievement that you can make, and that is gonna like kind of be much bigger than everything else at this moment in time, my gorgeous Scorpione. This is brilliant. You felt lack of ambition as well, you know, and that kind of caused lots of emotional confusion at the same time. So all these things are going to become irrelevant yet again when it comes to your feelings, when it comes to your emotions, and when it comes to you kind of like removing yourself, you know, from the part of your life that absolutely does not serve you anymore whatsoever. And also, you know, it's like basically you are gonna kind of become aware of a little hidden enemy. So now when it comes to the actual months of April, you know, when I see that you're going to become aware of the hidden enemy, like anything that you do, try to kind of keep to yourself throughout the months, and anything you do, kind of try to like not to open up yourself to people who don't mean much to you. I'm not saying that you're going out and just talking about to everybody who you see, hey, do you know what I've done yesterday? Hey, do you know what I've done this morning? Yeah, all right. You know, no. I know that you're not doing this, but it's just basically someone is going to be highlighted, someone who you can't trust, and someone who is like a bit of a hidden enemy around you. And you know what, I wouldn't even kind of take this personal whatsoever, because first of all, you're going to feel like a hidden enemy, but then at the same time you will see that there is something that is really kind of defining both of you. There is something that it's both of you making feel so kind of alien with each other. So which means that, you know, it's not necessarily nothing personal as such, but that person has been kind of misled quite a lot, and you haven't been misled with a specific situation here. So that's why it is just like someone who is not on as high level as you are. So just try to forgive them. I don't think it's nothing personal, but I just think that this person has just been misled, brainwashed, and things like that, and they will want to project something on you. And because you know what it is, you know what is like kind of going on when it comes to that particular situation, you will just want to kind of like really grow above it and not allow your energy to be tempered with people who don't mean much to you, but especially those that have been kind of misled quite a lot. But it's just also at the same time, it's showing that, you know, anything that comes to you important, anything that comes to you significant, like, oh, I want to do this, I want to do that, just keep it to yourself when it comes to April. Just keeping to yourself. May you can do like whatever you want, whatever you like. You can open up yourself to everyone, but in throughout the April, any ideas or any inspirations and any things like that that you have that it's going to come to you, it's going to be sacred and it's going to come from somewhere else. And your little duty and your little job is to keep this to yourself, okay? And then just like this is how you're just going to multiply your own powerful energy, and you're going to achieve so much, and you're not going to need to pay attention to the nonsense around you and things like that. But on another hand, what else I see here, my gorgeous Scorpione, I really like it. Very strong reconnection with somebody. I think that, you know, this is very personal, this is very important, and maybe somebody who means to you so much, like maybe like a family member, like a great friend, someone is going to surprise you. And this person is a really good person, really nice person, and this person is meant to be in your life. So it is going to be also very strong reconnection with somebody, you know, who is meant to be in your life, and they're bringing you a very important kind of message. And after that message that you hear from that person, there is going to be very, very interesting conversation as well. There is something quite specific that you're going to find out, something that is just going to remind you of how things used to be, and that in itself, it's also going to inspire you, and it's going to give you food for thoughts. There is something really incredible that you're going to do in July and August 2022 because of this, and this is where things are going to start. So it's an inspiration from the right person indeed. When it comes to your health, my gorgeous Scorpione, it is very important to try, I said this so many times, like and I'm gonna say it again, how much I can't stand the actual sugar, and because I know that there is so much to it, you know, so much more to it. So like I do see like a bit of a sensitivity when it comes to your digestion, when it comes to your digestive system, but I also see like the problems and negativity that's coming like quite a lot from sugar and through like kind of unhealthy food. I'm not saying that you're eating sugar, I'm not saying that you're unhealthy, please don't get me wrong. I'm just saying that there is going to be kind of a little bit of blockage and sensitivity caused by this, and you're going to be quite sensitive. So if you kind of eat like kind of lots of chocolates, like for example, if you're eating lots of like sugary sweets, for example, if you're like drinking, sometimes people drink like squashes and juices, but they're not realizing there are lots of like a kind of sweets and like a fake sweets, like I don't know what's worse, like a fake chemical sweet or sugar, but sugar is pure chemical anyway, so it's all like kind of no baby no. So try to cut out sugar if you possibly can completely, and you will see that you're gonna feel so much better. And I can tell you that this is also kind of like a pretty much so making your digestion and digestive system, your stomach, a little bit way more sensitive that you could possibly imagine. If you do like sweets and things like that, like everybody likes a bit of a chocolate, you know, like if you do like sweets and things like that, just try to stick to the dark chocolate. The darker the chocolate, the better for you it is, because the dark chocolate is have got so much goodness, you know, when it comes to the actual amount of cocoa in. So try to like, maybe if you feel like, oh, I want a little bit of sweets, try to get like a organic, like a chocolate, a dark chocolate with like a very high content of the actual cocoa in, because it's so good for you as well, okay? And it's also going to kind of fill those gaps when it comes to like wanting a little bit of like a sweets and things like that. I completely understand. Another thing I absolutely can't stand is when people are just put like a sugar in the coffee and things like that, in a little bit of tea. So try to, I know I said this a million times before, but try to like kind of like use organic maple syrup or organic honey. I mentioned this before so many times, but I'm going to say every single time when I see that a certain aspect is actually going to be affecting you. And it's also, you will see that almost immediately you're going to feel like you've got so much more energy, like, oh my God, you've got so much more energy, you're going to feel so much better. So this is something I would like you to actually do, just to cut out sugar as much as you possibly can. And also try to cut out bread. I know I'm being like, oh my God, but yeah, try to completely cut out bread out of your life, and you will see, like, out of your life. Yeah, I know it's difficult. I've done it. I don't have bread anymore whatsoever. I don't have a sugar anymore whatsoever. So try to like maybe like kind of cut out bread like for a little bit. If you're eating bread, and you any bread literally, seriously, try to cut out the bread, and you know, and you will see exactly how much much better you're again going to feel, because the bread is not really good, and the bread is just making us feel really bloated, and it's having got a really bad impact and influence on our own energy. And also, my gorgeous Scorpioni, just try to like kind of like what I was going to say now. I don't know what I was going to say. I don't know what I was going to say. Can you help me? Can you help me? Pam 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 pam. My goodness. No, this is what I was going to say. Yeah, just yes, what I was going to say. It's like at the same time, you know, when you have a bit of a blockage when it comes to digestion, it's also like a big mama to do is to also again have organic dandelion tea. Organic dandelion tea, it's absolutely everything, because it has got such a powerful properties. And when it comes to like a really kind of like us feeling so much better about ourselves by only drinking this tea, but it's absolutely mind-blowing when it comes to the actual get rid of the toxins in our body. So try to like to get rid of the toxins in our body. You know, organic dandelion, it's absolutely brilliant when it comes to the actual detoxification. So try to sip this throughout the month, and you will see how much better you're going to feel. And also, if you feel uncomfortable when it comes to your stomach, I told you this before, it's organic chamomile, it's brilliant. And it's also very, very soothing indeed. So this is something I would like to recommend to you. And also the same as the last month, try to, now March and April are very important times of the year, and when everything is changes when it comes to the energy, when it comes to the nature, and we are changing too. So March and April are superb to go outside, try to reconnect and connect with the forest, with the powerful earthly energies, and that in return, it's also going to reflect on your way of thinking. It's going to rejuvenate you, but it's also going to kind of bring you so many ideas at this moment in time, because you do go with this powerful change, and that in itself also starts like a spiritual detox, which is going to be superb when it comes to you, my gorgeous Scorpiones, indeed. So now I'm just going to see what the first date is going to be, but before I go there, look at this gorgeous chrome chalcedony. Absolutely beautiful. You can't see it like here, you see it's basically, it's so beautiful when you look against the light. And I can see it here against the light, but you can't really see it. I can see it from here, you see, but you can't see from my angle. So it's just so beautiful. You can see through it. It's that gorgeous little light green color. I know it looks dark like this, but it's absolutely beautiful. And this is a very powerful crystal, because it's got this very unique ability to encourage us almost immediately when it comes to like certain aspects of our lives that are so important to us, you know, that are so meaningful to us, that are so significant to us. Sometimes, you know, because a lot is going on, and sometimes, you know, it tempers with our own power, with our own spirituality, because we are not kind of giving 100%, you know, we are not giving 1000%, because we can be surrounded by the certain people that are energy drainers, you know, and these people can be quite dangerous, because we know we have a certain time to be around them, and then we need to kind of show ourselves, we need to explain ourselves, we need to kind of talk, express ourselves, open ourselves. But this type of people and entities, they only allow a certain amount of ourselves. It's very to open. It's very limited when it comes to our openness. So this is because they steal our energy, and then we don't kind of express ourselves where we should be expressing ourselves like a big mamas, like really importantly, and say as much as we can about the certain aspects in our life. And then, you know, we don't do that when we are meant to do, because they cause negativity and lots of negative energy and vibration around us. So then when we are back home, then we are like, oh, I should have said this, I should have said that, but now the chance is gone, type of thing. So this is brilliant, absolutely beautiful crystal. And it's also like almost immediately, just me holding it like this is just like kind of, I can feel a very strong and powerful vibration when it comes to feeling rejuvenated. Okay, so it's all about like encouraging positive and constructive self-reflection. And this is what's so important about this, is because that encouragement, it's also going to increase physical energy, and it's also going to be very beneficial for our blood and very beneficial for our circulation as well. So this is something that is just going to be super beneficial when it comes to prosperity in your life, when it comes to focus, when it comes to thinking clear, when it comes to us dealing with the finances, financial situations, making important decisions, you know, it opens us up that much more. This is a very, very special little crystal, and it does also, above all, attract the prosperity into our lives in such a way where we just know instantly what to connect to and what not to connect to. This crystal is most certainly a must, okay? So it's called chrome chalcedony, and this comes with a sterling silver chain, and the link to buy this is in the description below. By buying things from my channel, you're also supporting my channel. I have to say that, so thank you very much, my gorgeous Scorpioni. So now the first date is going to be the 3rd of April. The 3rd of April, you're going to have you know, something kind of like very interesting is going to take place on the 1st and the 2nd of April, and it's going to get you thinking, it's going to get you going, but also at the same time, by the time you get to the 3rd of April, you're going to feel a bit of like a lack of strength, and through your lack of strength, you're going to feel indecisive, and this is something that it's going to make you feel really weak. But at that moment in time, something is going to happen, because you are about to enter a very interesting dimension, and it's going to give you the ability to look at your life from above. And once you see your life from above, you will see exactly what I mean, okay? Once you see your life from above, you will get a bigger picture, the huge picture, and that picture is only going to highlight exactly which part of your life you must be devoted to above everything else, okay? And that in itself, the next step, it's going to be revealed when it comes to you kind of like really being aware of like the fact that you need to offer more services and effort towards a very specific goal in your life. And the more you think about it, the more brave you're gonna feel. The more you think about it, the more powerful your own capacity is going to be. And the more powerful your own capacity is that you're aware of, this is only increasing your strength. And that in itself, it's also gonna make you feel very, very psychic. You know, there's so many things that are going to be on your mind that you're going to think about your future. It's just going to be coming to you just out of the blue. You will not be able to tell how you're going to get there exactly, but it's just about having that vivid picture when it comes to your future, and connection to it is just going to be really strong in itself, let alone everything else. So it's all about you realizing, you know, my God, this is going to bring you success. And when it comes to your materialistic life, when it comes to you finding yourself on an advantage, when it comes to your path in general, you know, but also at the same time, this is going to be such a powerful moment in time. It's also going to like really reflect on your own health, and it's going to start a healing process almost immediately. And here, in between the 3rd and the 12th of April, you're also going to have a very important news that a certain difficulty is coming to an end. And this in itself is going to happen at exactly the time when you need it to, because it is kind of going to provide you with like a missing information when it comes to the certain proceedings in your life. So it's all going to be like, ooh la la, you're going to be able to connect the dots like there is no tomorrow. The second important date, my gorgeous Scorpioni, but before I go there, it's this gorgeous, like, look at this, oh my Lord, look at this. Faceted, pregnant, look how gorgeous this is. Faceted, pregnant, look at this, absolutely beautiful. This is also one of the most powerful crystals that you can get when it comes to your intuition, when it comes to your opening up to your psychic abilities, when it comes to your third psychic eye or pineal gland, you know, like for example, things like that. It does help you to open up quite a lot. You know, it does enhance precognition. By the same time, it enhances your inner knowing as well, and it will enable you to, it enables you to be prepared, you know, when you don't feel prepared, you know, and it also calms the environment at the same time. This is brilliant, you know. So it's about like being aware of things that you wouldn't be aware of normally. Like, it's such an amazing little crystal, and it does almost immediately, as I said, like kind of brings you clarity and brings you like a really kind of balance, and it makes you feel protected in a very very unique and in a very special way, where you also at the same time start coming out of yourself through the power of your own words, through the power of your own mouth. You know, this is when you start a very important progress, but also you find out about yourself quite a lot. This is an amazing crystal to have throughout April and May 2022, my gorgeous Scorpionis. Indeed, I would highly suggest you to have this every single time when you want that little bit of wisdom, every single time when you want that little bit of clarity. Just by putting this on, like almost immediately, you know, you're like kind of like almost immediately there's certain things that are going to come to you, and these certain things that are going to come to you, will see the priorities like kind of different. Now suddenly you will feel like you want to do this instead of doing that. So this is the power of this crystal that I'm talking about. This gorgeous pendant comes with sterling silver chain, and the link to buy this is in the description below. By buying things from my channel, you're also supporting my channel as well, so thank you very much for that. Okay, so the second important date, it's going to be on the 13th of April. Now, the 13th of April, there is going to be quite like pretty much so somebody who's very consistent in your life, somebody who's very loyal in your life, somebody who you really kind of like, somebody who's a very consistent in your life, consistent person. It's going to be connected to this very powerful news that you are, very important news that you're going to have. And that important news, it's going to be brilliant because at the same time it's going to be connected to the certain investment in your life. You will know after that moment in time what part of your life do you need to invest in, and that in itself is going to be connected to the certain departure, the next step. It's going to be connected to the certain journey, and this journey is something that you will need to make, something that you will need to do in order to advance your life. And that journey, when you make that journey, when you find yourself on that journey, something very unusual is going to happen, but really good. And that is going to open your eyes, but it's also going to point exactly which part of your life do you need to alter. At the same time, it's going to open your eyes and it's going to make you aware of like kind of an unknown danger. And this in itself, it's again going to confirm that this is exactly what you should do in order to avoid that unknown danger that you weren't aware of before. This is all going to become obvious because in between the 13th of April and the 22nd of April in particular, there is going to be a very kind of like an interesting sign that you are going to have. And you will have a situation where you're going to feel so impatient. You will want something specific like to happen, to take place, but you will need to understand that you need to wait. It's about patience and patience and patience. This is going to be something big, but it has got a very unusual steps until it gets there. So once you start feeling impatient, you know, oh my God, I want this to happen. There is something that's going to happen out of the blue. A really unusual and really bizarre and really strange sign that you are going to have. And that sign that you are going to have, it's just like, this is going to be something very unique. This is going to be something very different, and you will know that all life's answers are within you, but at the same time, you will know that there are going to be challenges ahead, and you are absolutely going to be able to solve them. So this is what your sign is going to be, and for some reason, you will know this. You're going to be aware of this, and that in itself is going to lead towards you making a very big progress, very big step towards a massive change, big change, which is primarily going to reflect on your home environment, on your life, you know, because at the same time it's about the actual beginning of the new cycle, which is about to start as well. The third important date, my gorgeous Scorpion, is going to be on the 30th of April. Now just remember that the 29th and the 30th of April, it's about that opportunity where you're going to be able to see so much that you weren't able to see before. This is brilliant. One step, one huge step, it's going to literally change your life, and that in itself is going to give you control over a situation. It's going to give you strength. It's going to give you like a very powerful courage, you know, and that in itself is going to reflect on your own energy, and that in itself is going to lead towards you being very, very determined towards the specific part of your life that you will know it's going to bring you accomplishment. On another hand, this is going to bring you satisfaction, and it's going to make you feel so good about yourself. It's going to bring your devotion up, so you will know that you're doing the right thing, but at the same time, you know, you just like a basically you will not kind of want to like avoid certain things. You know, you will not want to repeat something. This is going to become quite evident, because there is something that is just going to come up that you will maybe blame yourself in the past, but that doesn't really matter, because now you're reaching an integral part of your spiritual journey. You have been prepared for this moment for a long time, so this is exactly what it needs to happen in order for you to understand much bigger picture here. Okay, on another hand, this is going to bring like a harmony, it's going to bring peace, it's going to bring healing into your life, and at the same time it's going to help you to stay focused. You know, you will feel very kind of peaceful on the 30th of April. You will feel very kind of like very unusual but very nice and very beautiful, very unique healing energy, and that in itself is going to open you up, and it's also going to help you to stay focused. You know, stay focused and stay focused and stay focused. And there is someone that you're going to inspire quite a lot as well, that you're going to become aware on the 30th of April, and that is going to mean to you so much, because it's going to be the right person, and also it's going to mean to you so much because you will know that you are really, really wise, how wise you are. Okay, and it's on one hand it's going to help you to stay focused, but on the other hand to hold the course. You know, you will see exactly what I mean, you will know exactly what I mean. Okay, so now my gorgeous Scorpioni, I'm just going to see briefly what is going to happen in the first part of this month, mid part and the last part. So the first part of this month, just remember to never ever give up. There are going to be some little challenges that you are going to have, but you just need to understand to never ever give up, because in the first part of April you're going to realize how powerful you are and how important it is to keep on being persistent no matter what. Keep on being persistent, keep on being persistent, keep on being persistent. Okay, the mid part of April, you know, a lot is going to be going on. Just remember to not to focus on negative. Okay, this is a waste of your time and it's a waste of your energy. Remember that it's going to be very kind of like a lot is going to be happening in your life, but a lot is going to be happening on the outside. Ignore what is happening on the outside and focus on your life. Now it's time. The last part of April, my lord, it's going to start with a certain situation here that is going to make your heart flutter, but at the same time it is going to give you an important clarity, and that important clarity that you're going to have at the end of April, it's going to help you to make a choice. Okay, this is important. It's going to make you to help you to make a choice, and that in itself is going to pretty much so going to help you to move forward with your life big time indeed. Okay, so now I go to Scorpioni. I'm just going to see what is going to happen to those of you in relationships. Now my gorgeous Scorpioni, for those of you in relationship, is just like a pretty much so someone is going to be playing an important role when it comes to the couples. A certain person is going to play quite significant role, someone who is very important to both of you, somebody who is very kind of like a strong figure, a powerful figure, a very honest figure. Someone is going to tell you something and it's going to ring the bells, you know, within your heads like a big mamas, like bells. You will be told something very kind of interesting by somebody who is very kind of important in your life for both of you, and what they're gonna tell you is just like really pretty much so going to kind of reawaken or awaken both of you, because it's gonna kind of like point you towards a certain part of your life that not to kind of like waste your energy you know towards it. Somebody with some kind of experience is going to highlight a certain situation, and that is going to play a huge massive giant role in your life. So it's going to help you to remove yourself from the negativity, and also it's going to be that much one step closer towards your own happiness. So you will see exactly what element of your life is going to be highlighted through someone very, very important in your life indeed. Okay, so now when it comes to those of you that are single and ready to mingy, my gorgeous Scorpioni, I think that someone very interesting it's about to walk into your life. This is if you're looking for a relationship, if you're ready for a relationship, or even if you're not ready for a relationship, there is someone very specific that is about to enter your life, and that person is about to enter your life in between the 11th of April and the end of that month again. And and you are gonna feel very powerful vibration around that person. You're gonna feel something that you didn't feel in a long time, but also there is some kind of element of trust that is going to take over. It's to do with an element of trust above everything else. Yes, there is going to be very strong connection in between you two. Behave, Scorpioni. There is going to be a very strong connection in between you two. Yes, indeed, that's important. But on another hand, that there's an element of trust. So you are gonna really get on, you and that person, so nicely. There is some kind of important element that you're gonna be sharing, and this in itself, it's gonna like, oh my god, it's gonna help you to enjoy your life again. I'm not saying that you weren't enjoying your life, but you will see how amazingly this person is gonna actually make you feel. And this, my gorgeous Scorpioni, it's only the beginning. So you are about to meet someone very, very interesting indeed. Okay, my gorgeous Scorpioni, thank you ever so much for watching my videos. I love every single one of you. So I'm sending you brightest blessings, healing, peace, love, and light. So I'm sending you brightest blessings, lots of love, healing, peace, and light to every single one of you, my gorgeous Scorpioni. Thank you ever so much for watching my videos. Sasha Bonasin, psychic medium. Love you. Bye.